Okay, grade 10. So we are going to get started again, and now we're going to deal with those elements that have more than one stable ion, and we call those multivalent. If you recall from yesterday, we find those multivalents in the transition metals. So they have more than one common charge. So if you take a look quickly at the periodic table, okay, I've already got some circled here. Titanium is an example. It's got more than one charge. Chromium, vanadium, there's a lot of them in the transition metals. Okay. So when we do this, we have to indicate the charge of the metal ion, and we're going to do it using Roman numerals. So 1 is I, 2 is II, 3 is 3 I's, 4 is IV, 5 is V, and 6 is VI. So if we have a metal like iron, iron can be Fe3 plus or Fe2 plus. If we make iron oxide, I could write it as this, iron 3 oxide, and then you know that this 3 is a 3 plus charge on the iron. Okay. We also have to remember here that the sum charge of the whole compound will always equal 0. So let's try some out, and then I'll let you guys work on some of your own, some more questions. Okay. So we're going to look at the number of each, so how many of each ion we have and what the charges are. So the first thing we're going to recognize is we look at our metal and we see that it is iron, and when we look on the periodic table we can see it could either be Fe3 plus or Fe2 plus. So when we want to get this to add up to 0, let's first start with our SO4. So sulfate SO4 is going to be 2 negative. I've only drawn 1 because that's how many I have. If I look at the subscript outside of the SO4, there's nothing, so I have 1 of them. The iron also is only 1 iron. Okay, there's no number written beside the iron. So my anions, because there's only 1 sulfate, this is going to be 2 negative on this side. If I want to add up my positive and negative charges to get to 0, that means this would have to be 2 plus, and that would be iron 2 plus. So now I write iron 2, SO4 is sulfate. Okay, let's try this one again. We know iron can be Fe3 plus or Fe2 plus. Look at the number subscript to the right. It's telling us I have 2 iron ions in this compound. And then take a look at the oxygen. I have 3 of them, and the charge on oxygen is always 2 negative. So the total charge over here is 6 negative. I need the total charge over here to be 6 positive. I have 2 of them, so remember that subscript's important. So 2 times 3 positive or 2 positive? That's right, 3 positive. Okay, so this now becomes iron 3 oxide. And just remember, the Roman numeral tells us the charge. Okay, let's keep going. Copper and chloride. Cu plus, there's only 1 of them. Cl negative, there's only 1 of them. You look at copper, you see that it's multivalent, so let's just double check that. And here we go. Here is copper. It is truly multivalent. So we're going to write our Roman numerals. Copper 1 chloride. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'll let you work on some on your own, and then we'll come back and take up the answers. So again, Cu. Cu can be Cu plus or Cu2 plus. I have one of them. I also have one SO4, which is 2 negative. So copper would have to be the 2 positive. So this would now be copper 2 sulfate. Okay, pause the video. You can go through some more on your own. When you finish those, you can finish out workbook page A17, number 2, and then you can also do, that's it, just those questions there. Okay, so pause the video, and then we'll come back and check these answers. If you finish them, start working on workbook page A17, number 2. Okay, so PB. PB, if we take a look at lead, I have to go back to the periodic table. Come on. There we go. Lead, PB is atomic number 82. We're down here. So it could be 2 plus or 4 plus. So lead can be PB2 plus or PB4 plus. So let's take a look at the oxygen. There's only one oxygen, it's 2 negative. There's only one lead, so this would have to be 2 positive. So lead 2 oxide. PbO2, so Pb again could be 2 plus or it could be 4 plus. But now I have 2 oxygens. So the total charge on this is 4 negative. So that means this is going to have to be 4 positive. So lead 2 oxide. Sorry, lead 4 oxide. What am I thinking? Okay. G, cobalt, CO. Take a look. What are the possible charges on cobalt? Cobalt's right here, 2 plus or 3 plus. Let's write that down. So cobalt could be CO2 plus, CO3 plus. Sorry, that should be lowercase o. Okay. Fluorine, I have 2 of them, so I'm going to write F, 2 F's. They're both 1 negative. So the overall net charge is 2 negative. So I need cobalt side to be 2 positive. So that's going to be cobalt 2 that bonds. So we write that down. Cobalt 2 fluoride. Okay, last one, nickel. Nickel, excuse me, can be, here we go, 2 plus and 3 plus right there. Atomic number 28. So I think I said Ni2 plus or Ni3 plus. I have 1 nickel. I have 3 chlorines, and they're both negative charge, so that would be 3 negative. So the nickel would have to be 3 plus because I only have 1 of them. So this would be nickel 3 chloride. Okay. So finish workbook page A16 number 2, but now you can add workbook page A17 number 2. Okay, tomorrow we're going to move into the formula. So how do we go from the name to the formula? So we're going to go in the reverse. Have a great day.